This week is National Child Passenger Safety Week, and local and state agencies are reminding parents to make sure their children are properly restrained in vehicles. To talk more about this, Sal Carmona, who is a child passenger safety instructor with the Harlingen PD. Thanks, Sal, for waking up with us this morning.
My pleasure.
Very early. Well, first, let's talk about the national campaign that's going on about making sure parents strap in their children properly.
Yeah, it started actually this past Saturday, and it's going into this coming Saturday. And we're going anywhere throughout the valley. Matter of fact, we're in the lower valley this Monday and Tuesday. Today we're going to be in Weslaco as well as in Edinburgh. And then tomorrow we'll have 2 locations in Edinburgh. And then Friday, Alamo. Saturday we'll be in Mission and McAllen throughout the city doing several inspections. They're free inspections. We'll want you to bring the child and the car seat. And that way we can inspect to make sure it's the proper seat for that child. We'll also want to make sure that that car seat is not expired and that there are no recalls for that car seat, because sometimes the recalls come up and we need to change a few parts on that or change the whole seat itself.
Yeah, and I think that's a big thing to mention that parents might not be aware of is there are expiration dates on these car seats. So you might not want to, I know some people might get used ones, go to the garage sale, probably not a good idea.
And that's mainly because the car seats are all one-time use only items. In other words, they're there to protect your child during that accident. And if a car seat is ever, the child is in the seat and the car and the vehicle are involved in a major accident, then you want to change that car seat because it's probably the webbing has stretched or maybe the plastic has cracked, so therefore it's no longer safe for your child. So therefore you don't know if you buy one at a yard sale, at a flea market, if it was used and involved in an accident.
Right, so exactly. There's
no
no Carfax on car seats, so you definitely want to buy a new one. So let's go over the different sizes. Yeah. This is probably the first one you want to start with, young baby.
Yes, ma'am. This is an infant only, and it's a rearward facing only car seat. You want the child to face rearward for as long as the car seat will allow. And in some cases, it's 25 to 35 pounds. And so the factor is not if the feet are touching the back seat of the car. It's more so that you want to protect the back and neck, the spine of that child, so that when you're involved in an accident, the baby rides out the forces of that impact throughout the entire back and not from the head moving forward from that accident. So the longer you face rearward, the safer the child will be, and you would start out with an infant-only type car seat.
Okay, so once the kids get closer up to 40 pounds, this one you'd move to this one.
Correct, and this one here is what we would call a convertible, where it starts out rearward facing, and up to the max weight of that, then you can turn it around and face it forward so that the child is in that car seat a little bit longer. And so it's money-wise, it's better for you.
Yeah, it's more feasible for people who are looking to get the 2-for-1 rear, and then you can face it, keep onto it longer, because they are expensive.
Correct, right. And so this one will keep the child in a 5-point harness, in some cases up to 65 pounds, and it could be 3 years old, maybe a little bit older. And if the child is especially easily to be agitated or whatever, tries to get out of the seatbelt on his own, leave that child in a 5-point harness for as long as possible that the car seat will allow.
And let's mention this last one, just, you know, how it protects the child. And also, this looks like a big child, but they still need the car seat.
Correct. In the state of Texas, it's up to once they reach the age of 8 or taller than 4 feet 9 inches, one of those two parameters have to be met, so then you can take the child out of the car seat. But until 8 and up 4 feet 9 inches, leave them in a booster seat, because these seat belts are made for adults in the vehicles, and so you give the child a little boost so he sits higher in the seat, utilizing the seat belt properly across the child's shoulder and lap belt. So you want to make sure you leave them in there as long as possible. The sides help protect the child's head from sideward impacts, and so you want to, and some of them nowadays have cushions and air in there.
Right, especially for the younger children.
Exactly. So they need that extra defense being brought up for that adult-made seat belt, so they fit there properly in the vehicle.
I know we're running out of time, but I do want to mention this sign that says never leave your child alone in the car.
Correct.
That's another thing.
In the state of Texas, 11 months out of the year, we have had fatalities for children left in the car, and it doesn't take very long at all for the temperature to rise in the state of Texas. So 4 fatalities this year already.
Wow.
Just in Texas.
One too many, so make sure you leave something in the back of the seat to remember that. Thank you so much for coming in this morning.
My pleasure.